I'm back. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I never know if this thing starts until if it's still spinning, it says video starting, but we are live. So, hello, everyone. Thank you, Shirley. Have a fabulous day. And we are going to get some crafting done pop-up style. You guys are going to love this. I think you're going to love it. It is pretty incredible. So, let me refresh so I can see your comments. Karina is on here as well. Let me tell you, she is a trooper. She has the flu, and I feel so sorry for her. It's so sad. Let's see. I believe I'm on, right? Can you guys see me? There you are. All right, there she is. The trooper Karina, man, I am telling you. She got the flu and she's still here with me. So, all right, I am not going to spend a lot of time with small talk because this is an incredible card. So we are going to get ready, all right? So welcome to Tanya's Take for September, and let me show you what we are going to make. All right, so you guys got your kits, all right? In your kit, you had all of the things that you needed to make the super fun Happy Halloween pop-up card. So all of the papers were there, and it included 2 of these really cool dies. So you got the tiny house pop-up with the kit, and you also got the haunted tiny house add-ons as well. Okay, so everything was there and all of the papers. It was a fabulous kit. It sold out so ridiculously fast. I mean, within a few days, and we made extra this time around because we figured that it would. So great kit, but are you ready? This is such a cute card. First, let me tell you, one of the reasons that I like this pop-up house, okay, one of my favorite reasons that I like this pop-up house is because Karen has created, this is your base die. Karen has created not only the haunted tiny house add-ons, okay, but she's created, look at this, 5 other sets to use with that tiny house. We have the mushroom tiny house add-ons, which will make a cute little mushroom card. One of my very favorites, I've made this card several times, the gingerbread tiny house add-ons. Okay, this makes an amazing card, and if we have time at the end, I have lots of samples to show you. A little beach bar with a tiki hut. I am not kidding you. It is the cutest thing. A doghouse. Yes, how cute is that? It could be a house for a cat too. And a little church that also doubles as a school. Okay, sorry, I got a little bit of glare there. But all of those dies go with this tiny house. You have to have this one first, and then you can get the rest of the add-ons to go with it. Which takes me to, I'm gonna set these aside, the Tanya's Take for today. Okay, a little magnet opening there. Somebody is gonna win this card. You ready? There's our tiny house, just like we saw in the Tanya's Take, right? And also, we have another one, a tiny schoolhouse. We're going to make a little tiny village, little tiny edge of a village. All right, so this is the card that we're making today. And you guys, it does look hard, and it's a bit time consuming. If you want to do this card, you need to cut out your pieces. I think the time consuming was trying to figure out what I wanted on it. So we are going to make this, and this paper, I have to tell you, is one of the coolest papers that have been out from Graphic 45 in so long. It is called Ghostly Greetings, and I encourage you to first call your local scrapbook store, okay? Most of them ship, and see if they have it. It is out. There's papers that we can't even get anymore because it's out of print already, and call your local store first, but grab some of this paper. It is amazing. So let's get started. I'm going to need all of the time I have got, okay? So I'm just going to pull out my base first. We're going to work on the base, and this is I'm going to keep your card handy too because you're going to be walking along with me, all right? So, you're going to grab your base papers, just like I am. Your base piece is going to fold in half, and you're going to add these two pieces. You're going to add this piece. You're going to put this border on, and then add the tree, and just, you've got the photograph, you just follow right along, okay? Now, on mine, what I did to get the double opening is I made this one just a bit bigger. The one that you have, I believe, is 4.5. This is 5, I think. So I cut this piece first, and I cut another one with the same size on this side, but I cut this edge off. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. So I'm going to put this on, but before I do, I'm going to slip this little piece right in here because I want it to be able to come around so I can keep it closed. And so I'm just going to take my glue and put that there. And then I'm going to grab my zip dry. And for those of you that do not know, we have zip dry with KB Riley as well on the website, KarenBurniston.com. So, what is so, and of course, mine's all stuck now, but no worries, because I'll show you how to fix it. Zip dry is like rubber cement, and you remember the bottles that we used to have, the little round bottles with that nasty little wiry brush thing? Well, this is like rubber cement, and sometimes it gets stuck in the top, and I just push a little toothpick through it. If you get any on your hands, just rub it off, because that's what's great about it. And then just put it back on. So I'm going to show you what is really fabulous about this glue. You only need to use it around the outside. That's one great feature about it. But if I were to do this and try to put these two together, and I talk a lot, so if I did this, you would probably ruin one of the two pieces and have to put it together. You know, have to cut another piece to put it together again. Zip dry lets you move it while it's on the paper, but only for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe. And then you just go over the edges and it will seal it down. In about a minute, if you try to get that apart, it will not happen, I'm telling you. So now this is what we have, right? We're going to deal with this later. If you have any that runs out the side, see, like that, all you do is just rub it off because it's rubber cement. And that way, if you mess up or you get too much glue, it comes right off. Super easy. It's like the best glue ever to make cards with. Everybody should have this, seriously. So the next thing, we are just going to lay our papers down. So I'm going to put this piece here. Okay, and I have pre-inked the edges of these because I did not know how much time I was going to have. Look at this piece on the back. Those are roses and pumpkins. If you do not have Ghostly Greetings by Graphic 45, you need to get some. I'm telling you, if you like Halloween. I'm really serious. It's beautiful. All right. And there we go. And then we are just going to put the insides in here. So again, I've inked my edges with Vintage Photo. I'm just gonna lay this in here, center it up. And these are little teeny tiny edges, little teeny tiny borders. So this is gonna come in quite handy. See how I can move it around? Yep. All right, a little extra there. And we will take this one and put it over here. I knew when I first started doing this that I wanted to do 2 houses, and I learned a lot as I was doing 2 houses. I really did, and I will share all those tricks with you. It's not that hard. You're just repeating the house, okay? It's not that hard, but there are some tips and tricks that you need to think about when you do it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put that on top of it. So we have some bats flying around. Let's see, guys, look at the outside of that paper. Isn't this beautiful? This was so popular that they printed it. It ran out immediately. They did a second print, and then it sold out, and they're not going to do another third because it's seasonal. And I sure hope they bring it back because it's fabulous. And right here. And by the way, I need to say thank you for all of you guys that are joining me. I know today is a very, very, very busy day. How many people do we have going on here? Oh, I didn't even, hold on. Oh yeah, 30 people. That's okay. That's good. Thank you guys for joining me, because I know that there's a lot of stuff going on today. Around here, there's cider fests and monster bashes and all kinds of fun stuff. So I appreciate you being here with me in the morning. I really, really do. I love crafting with you guys in the morning. Okay, so center's done, right? This is all good. All right, this is going to fold in just like this. So we're going to do our fronts. I'm going to put my green down. And again, I've just put a little bit, nope, not on that one. Especially on Halloween cards, I use a lot of the vintage photo edging. If you notice, I'm not doing this, right? I'm just going along the edge because it gets rid of that white line when you do that. And it gives it kind of a spooky little piece. Tanya Fest. Yeah. Tanya, look at this side. That side's pretty cool too, huh? You guys crack me up. Somebody today, just for commenting, okay? Oh, Victor. I love spending my time with you too, buddy. Somebody's going to win this card that I make today. And somebody's going to win the dies that I use to make it. So, somebody's going to get the Schoolhouse Church one and the Haunted add-ons and the basic. And then I'm just going to take this piece, and this is just a piece right off paper. I'm not doing anything to it. Look at that. I'm not doing anything to it. It does its own. Isn't that spectacular? All right. Oh yeah, and then there's college ball today. Go Cats. There's Chiefs football tomorrow, which is terrifying. And it's pumpkin spice season, and I do love me some pumpkin spice. I was putting up my little reviews. Last year I did a whole bunch of reviews on pumpkin spice, right? And I started them kind of early this year. And some people got kind of cranky. So I decided to wait, but I've already tested out like 4 or 5 different pumpkin spice things. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside now. All right. And we are going to work on our card. Now, what I have found in doing these is I separate them into the base. Okay, and then one house and one house. It helps a lot to do that. That's one little tip for you. So the second house I've already got kind of done. So we're going to do the first house that's in your kits. All right, which is this guy. This guy. It's so cute. So cute. All right. Now I chose, and you can do this if your card stock is heavier. Okay, you don't have to have super heavy card stock. But it does need to have a bit of a, it needs to be a little bit strong. So this is your piece that you cut out, and it's the base of the house. Now you can't see because I used the pattern paper. I'm sorry, that was kind of a discombobulated sentence, but I used wood grain. I found some wood grain paper. So you can use pattern paper if it's fairly strong, okay? Now, fold it. Just fold on all the lines, and on the bottom ones, I fold them back and forth. A little trick from Karen herself. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we have those, and it's a lot easier to decorate flats than it is to decorate once you have it together. Okay. These yummy pumpkin muffins. Oh, Cindy, seriously. Yummy pumpkin muffins with a dark chocolate glaze and they are baked so much healthier. It seems to me that you would need to send me that recipe, Miss Cream. All right, so on this, I'm going to find all my little pieces parts. Okay, so here's my door, and when you put this together, you need to kind of imagine it. The two back, these two little flaps are going to attach to your card towards the back. So this is going to be your front, all right? Or this side, but I'm going to use this side. So that's going to be my front. That's where my front door goes. And I have cut all these pieces out ahead of time, of course, but a lot of them have stencils that you can use as well. This one, okay, had a little stencil, so I drew around that. Brenda, that is just not a nice thing to say. I have got to focus on this cards and don't talk about my Chiefs like that. If they do, I'll probably cry, but, you know, it's been a rough going this year. All right. So, I'm going to put that like that. Okay. And then let's, all these pieces, I have bats, I have pieces of wood. Whoop, my vellum doesn't want to move. I have spider webs, I have windows that I have mucked up a lot with my vintage photo. There we go. I have one window that's going to have the light on. Okay. And I'm going to put it down just a little bit because this one is going to have shutters. All right. This particular set that we are using today, and here's the little shutters. Okay. This particular set that we're using has a stamping feature in it. Okay, now I'm not going to make these. The great thing about making Halloween cards is if you make them off center or wonky, it's a good thing. Okay, houses fall down and stuff, so that's the great thing about this one. You don't have to line everything else up perfect. Okay, so this one I'm going to put on here. And we'll do this one here and that one there. Now the glue that I am using, I'm seeing some other people, but you guys know about the Line Co. our fine tip bottle and the Line Co. glue, and the reason I love it is because of this little bad boy right here, this little tip. All right, and the Line Co. glue dries almost instantly. Like it's the polar opposite of the zip dry. So I use this in a fine tip and my zip dry in a bigger tip. So I always have both on my table. All right, so now let's just add some shutters to these. And you have to work pretty fast. So I'm going to pick up this shutter and that shutter and that one and that one. Let's see, this one's going to be off. Yeah, it's hard to do. Okay, and I am short a couple shutters, which is okay. Dang it. That's all right. So we're just going to wipe that off. Okay, this one's missing the shutters, right? So we're going to put a piece of wood over this one because this window's really messed up. So we're going to put a piece of little wood over that. And we're going to put some wood over the front door. And so many of these pieces, as you will find out, can be used for so much more than just what they are. So these are little wood pieces, and you can also stamp them while they're inside, right? Okay, so now I have this done. Let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's put a, let's see, that's the front, so this is gonna be my side. I'm gonna put one of these right here. And the best way to do this is to just cut out a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, this is going to be my back that nobody's ever going to see, so I'm not going to really worry about that. And so this is my other side. I think maybe we'll put a cobweb on this one too. Over here. And I'm going to put a little spider here. Yeah. And I leave them hanging over the edges, but that's okay, because I'm going to cut them off. All right. So I'm going to come back here and notice that I didn't glue this down. Can you guys see that? It's not all glued down because oh, my magnets are sticking to my scissors. So we are going to, okay, do that, trim that off, trim that off, trim off his little legs. Okay, and then we're just going to put our house and make it a building, just like that. All we do. I'm going to edge this first. Okay, put a little bit of glue here. Just like that. Yep, in one of the lessons I thought, on some of these I thought, I really want to do this, so I added it after I put the house on. I'm telling you, it's a lot harder with the house once it's on the paper to try to decorate it than it is off the paper. All right. So make sure those are working good, right? Now, a little thing, this is really cute. It's really cute, right? But I want it to be a little spookier. So I'm just going to take my little ink pad and I'm just going to make the edges a little bit, and not the same all the way around. I'm just going to, because you just don't know. Down along the bottom it's going to be really dirty, and just muck it up. Muck, 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 muck. Muck it up. That's much better looking, isn't it? Okay. Now we're talking. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the roof supports in. All right, and that's what this is. And so we are going to flatten this out from the front, so you've got two little peaks here. Okay, this is the easiest thing in the world. Karen does they're so detailed, and yet they're so easy. It just amazes me every single time. Okay, now I'm gonna give you guys a little teaser. You should wait till you see the next release. Oh my God. Literally, it made me squeal like a little girl. It was hilarious. All right, so this piece, once I have this down, you'll notice that there's a little point right there, right? It just goes right here. Pull the point right to there, make it match. All right, it's a little flappy thing. You want to fold it in first. And fold this one in. Okay. We are going to put a little bit of glue. That. We're going to lay this right there. Lay it down and let it glue. You're not going to glue all of it. You're gluing just the tab. Okay? See, let me show you. Just the tab. Okay? Just that tab. And then you're just going to lay it down like that. And we're going to put glue on the other tab. Just the tab. Like that. And flatten it. And you will, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And now, because this glue dries so fast, look at that. We have our roof support. One's going to go one way, one's going to go the other way. And our roof is going to attach to this. Now, let's go to our roof. Doesn't this look like a really yummy old-time roof? It's because this is the die that it's made with, and it's so easy. This is a stamping die, okay? You literally ink this up, put your paper on it, run it through your die cutting machine, and it comes out stamped and cut at the same time. Yay! Now I just took some vintage photo and put over it. Now the edge of this, This looks like a brand new roof. The edge does. We don't want a brand new one. Yep, Pat, there's a gingerbread Christmas. I'll show you if I get done early. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just muck up these edges, right? See what I'm doing? Because this is an old roof. It's been abandoned and squatters have lived in there and there's ghosts in there and time's taken its toll and all that good stuff. So now it's ready. I'm going to ink that up. And I use paper in just regular ink dye, okay? Just ink so it doesn't stick to my dye. And then when you're done, just take it into the bathroom or wherever your craft room is, whatever is close to that, and just rinse it off. It'll come right off. All right, so now we have this. We're ready to put it on, right? Yeah, you know what I'm going to do first? Yeah, let's put on, she even put some shingles in here. Crazy! Look at that. So I made up these little shingles. And we're going to have a couple, like we're going to have one hanging off the roof here, and off the roof here, and hanging down here, and like that. And again, the cool thing is it's a haunted house, so nothing has to be straight. Like that. And I'm going to put she included the chimney die. Now, it's under here somewhere. That is another one that you can stencil through. And, well, it was here. If I find it, I'll show you. But it's just like this. So you can cut it out, and then you can ink through it. It's not a stamping die, it's just a stencil die. You can ink through it, and it makes your bricks. Excuse me. Now, with this, all you do is fold the little tab up. Little tab up. You guys see that? Tab. And I'm just going to put some glue on the underside. And let's see, let's put it towards the back, right there. And hold it for a second. And ta-da! We have a roof with a chimney. All right, now to put this on, you're just going to open this up. Okay, you're going to fold this down. All right, we're going to make sure that we get it right in the middle, like that. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And all you're going to do is glue this side of the tab and that side of the tab. And you're going to lay it right up next to the fold. Get it nice and centered in there. And then lay your roof down. And hold it for a second. Super easy. All right. You ready? Okay. Look at this. And there's your roof. Is that easy peasy or what? The pickup tool, yes, Krista. This is on the Riley and Company website, which you can go to later. Don't come on. Oh, haunters. Haunters. Anyway, this is on the Riley and Company website. It is called the Pick and Poke. It's fabulous. This is wax. All right, so you have to be careful with it, but it is a fabulous little tool. Okay, so I have this done. All right, I am going to put it on my base. So the way that we do that is, I have to move my stuff out of the way here. Oh, my die was stuck to my magnet. See? Yes. Alrighty. So on this, the one thing you're going to need, so this, the two little pieces go towards the back, right? We're going to fold our house flat, and they're going to sit just like this. Right along that edge is going to be right along your fold. All right, we want to make sure that when you open it up, okay, you don't want to get it so far that your house is going to hang over. So you want it back. You can even put it back a little bit further if you want. Okay, I think I am going to put mine probably right about there. Okay, so you're going to just do your tab. We're going to lay that down right along that edge. And you know what I did? Where's the front of my house? Yeah, that's right. I did it right, sorry. Whew. And then we're going to put a little glue along this other tab. Right? And so what are we going to do? We're going to close our card. Alrighty. So I'm going to leave that for just a second. Okay, because I want to make sure that it really, really sticks down. It will open like this, but it's probably still a little wet, so you want to be really careful. In the meantime, and you guys have this as well in your kits, okay, attach your Happy Halloween to your back. All right, we're done with that. Then we're going to put our little tree together. So this is just a circle out of the, I believe it's the same set as this, which is it's 1141, but I can't remember what the name of it is. Karen just told me yesterday. I can't remember. All right, so where am I going to put my moon? I think I'm going to do it behind this one this time. Maybe? Yeah. Okay. Landscape something. Landscape. I'll find it here in a second. All right, so I'm going to put my little moon behind there. I'm going to put a cobweb in this one. So I'm just going to attach it here. Isn't this easy? And it comes together so fast. Landscape scene. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay, and then it's so we just probably need a little spider hanging off of there. Speaking of spiders, which I'd really rather not, but it was quite shocking. I was out in the garden the other day, and I see this spider come by, and I've never seen. We have wolf spiders here, so they're pretty good size, right? What's the fine tip glue? It is Lineco PH, and we sell that at KarenBurniston.com. Anyway, I'm out gardening, and I kid you not, I saw a little tarantula run in the garden. It was the fuzziest little thing I've ever seen. It had little legs that were a little smaller than this, and I'm like, holy cow, they've made it to Kansas. So anyway, that's my spider story. This is your fence. Now, I have put 2 of these. I cut 2 out and I glued them together to make it stronger. Okay, so now we have everything ready. And I'm going to open this up and see. Yes, there it is. Ta-da! Right? Easy. So I'm going to take my fence and I'm just going to hook it on the back. I'm just going to glue it on the back. Just like that. Yeah. Do this. And the reason I did not glue it beforehand is because I wanted to see how far out I could bring it. I didn't want to waste any of that space. Okay, that's on there. Then we're going to take our tree and we're just going to put it on here. And then we're going to test it and make sure everything closes before we move on. Okay, going that way. Okay, so see, I have a little bit of a, I want to say hangover, but I really don't, but that hangs over just a bit. Easy to take care of, just cut it off. Okay, so I know that this is all working just peachy, right? That's as easy as that is. You can add a pumpkin and the saying, and you guys would be done. But wait, there's more. I'm gonna put that right there on the fence. Okay, there's a little, and this is why I say it's easier to do when you have it laying down. I have a little bitty tip. A little pumpkin vine goes right. See what I mean? And there you go. Keep stuck on there. Okay. The Happy Halloween is going to go here, but I'm not going to put it down quite yet because you never know. I might want it over here. You never know. Oh. Came off. Doing that. All right. That part is done. We're going to, oh, wait a second. I've got these little guys. I'm just going to leave them here. I'm going to leave all my pieces parts here, and then maybe I can use them when I'm done, right? Okay, now let's go to the next house. I did not know how much time I was going to have, so I'm really glad that I did this because I want to show you guys some stuff. I went ahead and did everything ahead of time because I wanted to show you how the school got put together. So I laid it flat. I put in all of my windows, right? Now this is from the church and the school add-on. These are regular windows. And then I went ahead and put my centerpiece on, right? Now on the roof, we're going to make a schoolhouse. And it has a little steeple. So the roof, I went ahead and did, just like before, right? The steeple has a little roof. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. See that? This is what we're doing now, the schoolhouse. Okay? Now, on the roof of the schoolhouse, it has this little sign that says school, and I die cut it, and it debosses, okay, letters. And you do not have to make these perfect because this schoolhouse has been there since the 1800s, and it's not still going to be something you can see, right? And so this light makes it hard to see where I'm at. And so you just fill in those little debossed parts with a pen. Right. Okay, and we're going to put just a border around it like partially. It was pretty back in the day. Okay, and there's our school sign. We'll let it dry. And then I'm going to take some vintage photo and go back over it and make it look all rough and tumbly. This little piece is also in the church set. And I'm going to take it, put a little bit of glue on here, and I'm going to attach it to my roof. It's the little hanging, I'm using it for a little hang down thing. Can actually, this is in the regular, I mean the first, the house, gosh dang it, the tiny house pop-up, okay, it's this. It's in here, and you can put flowers on it anymore, whatever you want to do with it. All right, now I'm going to work this time from the top down. So here is my steeple. It's the exact same as the house. Laid it out, you fold it, put your windows on, okay? There's a little hole in the roof. We're going to feed it through, right? And I'm going to put glue here, and I'm going to put glue over there. I'm going to thread this through here. Line it up like that and just close it. Now, these little pieces are for a church bell and a cross if you want to put that on there. But this little schoolhouse is, you know, a couple hundred years old, so this is not going to be there anymore, and we are just going to tear it off on purpose on purpose, we're going to tear it and lean it a little bit wonky and come in. And now it's an old schoolhouse topper, right? That's on. We open that up. Our steeple has a roof. We're going to take that and we're going to put it on our normal roof. Okay, so it is going to sit right here. And the way that we do that is we're going to fold these little tabs in. All right, we're going to put glue on there, and if you notice, there's a little gap. See that little gappy thing right there? That's where our roof's going to go. It's going to be that snug up in there. So I'm going to put this, and I'm going to slide my roof right in where that gap is. Okay, and I'm just going to close it down and hold it. I'm going to hang on to that for a minute. I've already done my fence up, so you guys can see that because I figured that I might not have time. And it would appear that I am correct, but I wanted to show you how to do too. All right. Now we're going to take this piece and do this, right? So we already know how to do that. Put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here. We're going to put it right in the center. And we're just going to close it. And hold that too. All right. So when we open this up, it's going to be a maze ball. Ready? Look. And we have a schoolhouse. But this time I chose to put my door on the side so it would be the front. I'm going to bend this just a little bit so it hangs down like it's supposed to. Okay? And we're ready to put it together. We already know these two go in the back, right? So I'm going to get this. Now, the reason I had to go and give you a couple tips that I learned, I wanted to do this, you know, both sides being the 5 inches. However, if I fold this 5 inches down with my first fold, okay, this has nowhere to lay. I mean, I guess it could have. It might have been a little tough, and it wouldn't happen because I have to adhere this to the back. So if I lay something on top of that, you can't fold it down. I learned that, so then I cut it off and we started all over again. On this one, you have to make sure that they don't open together. Hold on, that they don't catch when they open. So I'm going to move this, maybe put this one up here. So you just kind of work it so that it won't catch each other. All right, I think there is going to be fine. Okay, I'll put a little bit of glue here. A little bit of glue here. Put it back where I had it. Line it up on the edge because we know that works, right? And we are just going to close that down. So that is what it's going to look like when you first do the first closure. Then this is going to come in and close on top of it. All right, easy peasy. Now if you guys ever have, and while we're letting that dry, if you guys ever have any questions about how to put a die together, Karen painstakingly puts instructions on every single die. And when I say painstakingly, I'm telling you, getting all the instructions. I'm not even sure. Oh, there we go. See, all the instructions in that little bitty piece to put it together. I don't like to read instructions, really. I'm dead serious on that. If I ever had to put anything together at my store, I'd make Dolores do it if it involved reading instructions. I don't like to do that. I like Google and YouTube and all that good stuff, right? So Karen also, on every single pop-up die that we have at KB Riley, KarenBurniston.com, she has video instructions on how to do it. And trust me, folks, I use them. Yes, they will mail in a 6x6 because somebody's going to win it. All right, are we ready? Ta-da! And it's just left in the details. All right, so we are going to put a little fence here. on here. Now I tried and tried and tried to get a tree to work over here, and it wouldn't work because it actually catches on the house because we're going the other way. So we're going to put our fence on. I did cut an extra tree because I want this back space to feel like a forest. Oops. I want it to feel like a forest. So I'm going to put part of the tree back there, just, you know, one of the branches. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to work just like that. Okay. Now each one of these has to have some place to walk, right? So these guys are going to be the steps on this side. And I used some other wood green paper to make little wood steps. I would imagine that, you know, they had like a little wood walkout. This guy's not being nice here. Stop it. Okay, so then I just made a bunch of these little pieces, and I'm just going to pick them up and put them kind of, I figure that they've all moved by now, you know, over the course of 100 years. So I'm just putting them on randomly. You can use your vintage photo if you really want to make them look older and edgier. This one, we're going to make these straight, but they're going to be wood. In the house of the tiny house pop-up, there's little stones. There's a die for little stones, little concrete stones. It's so cute. So you could use those too. All right, come on. Okay. There you have that. So, look, cute, right? And then I'm going to trim this off because I can't have it overhang. And I'm going to lay my Happy Halloween here and see if anything catches on it. And it's not going to. So that is where I'm going to put that. Okay. Gosh dang it. I have 12 minutes and I really wanted to show you guys some of the cards, so I might fly through some of the cards and you can watch the video later. There's houses that can go on here. We've got bats from the sets. Look at that. Just put bats everywhere you want to. We'll put one here. You guys have about 12 minutes left to comment. Somebody's going to win this. Okay. And I think we want to put a little ghosty on the front of the house coming out of the ground, I do believe. Yeah. Use whatever you have. If you've got, like, I wondered if I have some moss, like real moss, right? Like the moss from kits and plants, you know, that you make arrangements with. Isn't that cute? I think we should have another one coming out of here, do you think? And so I wondered if like moss would make it look like a forest, but I didn't have a chance to try it, but I might. Okay, here's a spider. We'll use him. He'll be coming out there. Use what you have, right? Okay. I am just, yeah, spiders don't really bug me. Bugs bug me. Okay, so we are done. Look at that. Completely finished, right? Like that folds over nicely. That folds. Now there's a little trick here. If you use a pencil and you can just slide in there and get your corners of your house turned down, just turn them down a little bit. And with this, it's not going to be hard because it's a haunted house, right? So you're going to do that, and it makes your house slide so much easier when it catches the paper. All right, there we have it. That's going to fold down. This is where you can put a little note if you want. This is going to fold down, but wait, we still have to get this, okay? And I've got a magnet, and I just wanted a little closure. All right, when I did this, I glued it down, dang it, which I should not have. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little pair of scissors. You can also put a piece of paper right over here and put the magnet underneath it. But with the zip dry, I know my limits, and I only put it on the edge. So I'm just going to use I could use an X-Acto knife to do this too. See how I'm just carving out a little space, and I'm going to tuck that magnet right inside there. I'm going to put my glue in here first. I'm going to squirt a bunch of it because I want my magnet to stick. Okay, and the key to this is make sure you've got the two sides that will stick together, right? So I got 3 there. I only want 1. Okay, I'm going to take that. I'm just going to tuck it right in there. Poke it right in there. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was doing this last night, and I made the same mistake on it too. So I had to cut it open, and I was trying to use an X-Acto knife to get it in there. All right. So I know that my magnet's right here, okay? So I was trying to use an X-Acto knife to get it out. Yes, it kept sticking to the X-Acto knife, derp. All right, we're gonna make sure, just by testing it, that this sticks, and it does. So there is where we're going to leave it. Cut that right there. I have got a little green piece that I cut. Okay, and I'm literally just going to glue that on top. I'm going to measure it out. If you would like, you can cut a long green piece and bring it around the back if you want. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put my glue here, and here, and here, and here, and I'm going to put some on here because I really want it to stay down. I'm going to ink my edges. I'm going to glue it on here. I'm going to trim this off. Oops. I'm going to trim this off straight. And I am going to put a little black pumpkin right on top of there. Ta-da! And I can't believe I got this whole thing done in an hour. I really cannot believe I did. I didn't think I was going to. And I have time to show you some cards. Okay? So that is that. I will show it to you in a minute. I'm going to let that glue stick, and I'm going to show you some of these cards. You guys are going to be blown away. That's the whole thing, guys. Easy, huh? Really? All right. I really want to show you these cards because I have a ton of them. When Karen moved, she gave me a tote and a half full of cards. It makes me so excited. All right, ready? So this is all the tiny house pop-up with different add-ons. All right, you guys have 6 minutes to comment. Okay, look at this. There is the schoolhouse as a schoolhouse, not a haunted schoolhouse. Isn't that fun? Okay, here's the little gnome, the little mushroom house. Aren't these fabulous? I love them. Okay. There's the little gnome house with some trees added. I almost did these haunted wise, but isn't that beautiful? Little gnome house. Okay. I've got to get something to drink. Hang on. I just saw a comment about magnets. Something I didn't see that. Yeah, the little bookworms are adorable. Okay. These are all the add-ons. So if you got this kit, all of these are add-ons that go with the dies that you have. Look at that. Just a little house. Isn't that adorable? Oh, sorry, I put it backwards. Look, that comes with the little flowers, and that little hinge that I used for the schoolhouse is actually a little box for windows. How fun, right? And this is one of my favorites. Oh, this card. Look, it's a gingerbread forest. Oh, look at this. Fran, look at that. Is that not fantastic? I'm not sure I could give that away. Okay, here's another little spooky forest house. Oh gosh, don't fall. Okay. Another schoolhouse with really cool paper. How cool is that? The hardest part that I had with this card, I honestly have to tell you. I wonder if this is... Oh, it is chalk. It'll come off. Look at that. How fun is that? The hardest part that I had was trying to decide what color I wanted the base and what color I wanted the roof. Because it can be a tin roof. It can be a thatch roof. It can be a, you know, I mean, we have a tin roof, but it's dark gray. So anything, all right? Oh, you ready? And this is where I want to go. You guys, look at this. It's a tiki hut with a bar. Seriously, this is where I want to be. This is my happy place. A thatched roof. Yes, it is a thatched roof. Look at that. Okay. I'm gonna save that one for last. So here is another gingerbread house. It is so incredibly easy. Really, it's so easy. She even puts like, there's a die in this one that does all the dots too. And you just find some glitter paper. Look at that. Okay. Another forest. Welcome to the neighborhood. Can you imagine if somebody moves into your neighborhood, they would instantly know that you're crafty and they might be crafty too, and you'd find a new friend to craft with. Cute. Here's another gingerbread house. Adorable little snowman. Oh, so much fun. Another little schoolhouse. Yes. Here's the church as a church, not a haunted schoolhouse, but it actually makes a church. It's a perfect little wedding card. Look at that. Stained glass windows. The tiki, yes, when Wendy, the tiki is an add-on set that goes with, you have to have the tiny house base, foundation die for all of these, but all of these are add-ons that you can get. So look at this farmhouse. Is this awesome? And these are just lines drawn on here to look like siding. I love this so much. Who did this? Who did this? Sue Smockrider. Isn't that fabulous? Okay. All of these add-ons, if you just go to KarenBurniston.com and type in tiny house add-ons, they're all there. Ready? Yes, you guys might recognize this one. I think I did this one in a demo last year. I love it. Love it. Okay, and let's see. One more little beach one, because why not? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? What a cute little Christmas card that would be, right? You could put a little Santa on here. Put a little snow hat on the crab, a little Santa hat on the crab. How cute is this? I just want to go there. And finally, I'm going to show you something else that one of the girls did that isn't a tiny house. They just didn't put the roof on. Put two inserts instead. I think this was Sue. I think it was. Was this Karen? I don't remember. But anyway, and then used the tool set and made a little tool basket. Tool box? Yes. Anyway, back to our final card. I am out of time. This is what our card looks like, and someone's going to win it. Yes. That makes me so happy. Let me just close it right back up. And that is all the time I have for today. You guys, I've just sat down here and spent 2.5 hours crafting with you. I am so thankful that you joined me today. You had options to go anywhere else. And thanks for sticking with me. Somebody's going to win the die. Somebody's going to win the card. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.